We on.
Alright, Shalom. We're going to give all praises to
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Makakwadash.
That belongs to the apostles, the elders, the great millstone, true well. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there. You CAMP&Sitdowns that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. Once again, we out here to prophesy the word of the Lord. You know, relate recent events and scriptures. Now, normally we wouldn't open up going into this, but you know, every now and again,
show you racism,
yo,
man.
this man shows his horns. Now you got Shador Sanders, all right, college football player at Buffalo.
Who's that called? Colorado.
Colorado. So he played for the Colorado Bucks. I'm sorry. And he got drafted 144, which is spiritual in itself. But they ultimately embarrassed this chick. Why they took it out on him? Because his father,
Deion
Sanders was a once in a generation player. Primetime.
Cocky
You know
as fuck.
You know how to put butts in seats, but he was blessed from the Most High. But when I say blessed from the Most High, I mean with the physical gift. He had like a low form of spiritual power on the physical side, because this dude was chasing down Bo Jackson. He was running track. He was doing whatever the fuck he wanted to do. He was playing a major league He was playing a major league game, then go on playing the NFL.
The same thing that Bo Jackson did.
Hold on, but then he'll miss practice and then just lock up Jerry Rice, the greatest wide receiver. So this nigga was blessed beyond belief. And he talked this shit because he could back it up. He was that dude. Now, that was always Deion's spirit. He has. You know what? Deion is cocky, but he always give back credit to the Lord.
Yeah.
Now, real quick before I even go on, can I get Romans 10:1? Because they're zealous, but he's not going to call on the name Yahushua, but Deion, they always giving praise to the Lord. They might say Jesus
They
or whatever.
call Jesus, yeah. He always say that.
But they give praise to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Some jakes are blessed and never give praises to the Most High. They just be like, that's just me and shit.
Yeah, this is Romans chapter 10.
He wears a beard. He rocks a beard, bro.
This is Romans chapter 10, verse 1. It says, brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to the Most High of Israel is, let me read that again. It says, Romans 10:1, it says, brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to the Most...
Brethren.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
I be trying to say it the other way, but I can't, bro.
You know what I'm saying? What was Benjamin, man?
Yeah. It says, my heart's desire and prayer to the Most High for Israel is that they might be saved. For I bear them record that they may have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge.
Yeah, so he has a zeal for the Heavenly Father. Even his son was always zeal. He's like, fuck it, everything is in God's hand, which is correct. And
It is of the Lord.
they ultimately just shamed this dude. When I say shamed this dude, they didn't draft him in the first, second, third, fourth, fifth round. And they had Edomites from Ole Miss prank his ass, saying, yo, you ready? We're about to take you, but you gotta wait a little later. How did they get that number? Because that is a whole fraternity. So they colluded and said, all right, this nigga think he's gonna, because you know what he said? He said, look, I'm gonna make this like Archie Manning. We're gonna pick where we wanna go. Which, you know, Deion got proud in that sense, all right? So they said, oh, you gonna pick where you wanna go? All right, nigga, we're gonna make an example of it. They tanked this dude way the fuck down. Now, mind you,
So you don't even get money like that or nothing.
yeah, I mean, the thing with drafting too is like if they cut you, they ain't gonna have to take no major L's. But this dude went from projected second round, second overall, to the fifth round, man.
Guess what, though? The Cleveland, I thought it was the Pittsburgh Steelers that picked him up.
They were supposed to, but that shows you know what it was like, bro. Because Mike Tomlin, black head coach, been second. Right now, he's been in the league the longest in terms of head coach. And they said, look, pretty much the owners got together. It's a meeting. Was like, look, nigga, draft that dude, see what happens. Pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Because they're the owners, and they want to prove that they're the owners. I gotta move. I gotta move. No, good. It's alright, bro. It's alright, because I'm
It's starting to rain, you see it's starting to rain, right?
Water. I'm gonna just keep speaking.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The owner was like, okay, draft this nigga if you want to.
Yeah.
You the coach?
Keep your job.
You the coach? You've been here, you've been the longest black coach in NFL history. Draft him and see what we gonna do. Draft that nigga. You a nigga, you draft that nigga, see what we gonna do to you.
Yeah, so they made a public example of him. So these devils are showing you it's not about your talent, it's not about...
We own this shit.
We own this shit, and we're gonna make a fucking example of it.
And we own you.
And you know what? As much as they, we draft, you know what they did? They say face. All right, let's make the number one overall quarterback of black man. Fuck, we deal. So Cam Ward got drafted, but he's like, we're gonna make a public example. You think you're gonna come in our shit and pick where you wanna go, nigga.
Can I say something? It's off billions. It's off billions. What did one of the billionaires tell Bobby Axelrod? If you own a team in this day and time, it's like you've been knighted.
Exactly, brother. I love that you brought that out, brother. Because being an NFL owner is a fraternity, meaning you could have the money and not. You could have $100 billion. If they say we don't want you a part of this frat, you won't be a part of it. Because you got certain teams that would go for $2 billion, $2.1 billion. So it's a tight bond. So if you offend one owner, which the Sanders family did that when they offended the Saints. But let me finish, shot. They was talking. Dion was like, he ain't gonna go later than 4. And so Cam was like, there's talking she might fall down to number 9 to the Saints. And nah, we ain't gonna go to number 9. Saints saw that was like, what nigga? So you saying we ain't shit, huh? Alright, listen. And that was it. From that, it showed you the league is petty. Man, and we run this shit. Exactly. You gonna go where the fuck we tell you to go, nigga.
You go where you go. You perform.
They could have literally said, all right, word, let's make you Mr. Relevant. They won't, but it was too much shit was coming out. Like people was like, all right, now this shit getting out of hand.
Right. The NFL is rigged, man.
People was like, this shit is getting out of hand. Like they drafted some nigga named Tyler Sutton. They showed his combine tape. Nigga threw the ball and shit went way out of left field, bro. This dude was 26 years old. Shador is 23. Like, there was too much red flags. Like, it's at this point, if you don't see his personal, you're fucking idiot.
They could really play him when he stopped playing. They could still further when
they could even. You know what? Timestamp this right here. The shaming ritual could just begin. They could bring him to the Browns just to make this nigga fade out in their security. But the Sanders families are right when they say, look, the Most High is in control. So even though they could want to embarrass Jake, shame him out, the Most High could intervene and just have it where all 4 of them niggas just get hurt. And he comes in and just lights out. But go to that Ezekiel 35, Bubba Kashar.
That shit is crazy because before you go to that, they like kind of like, the Giants had an opportunity to pick this dude. And they choose this dude Dart. I'm like, what the fuck? But Giants got a nice. Giants got a.
I mean, you know what? Though that last name could be a nomen. I mean, he could get in the league and just start throwing darts.
He could be nice, but his clips from Ole Miss, how he was lighting shit up. But that's college football. NFL is a total different goddamn dragon.
Yeah.
What you doing is college football.
That whole shit is kind of iffy too because he got drafted from Ole Miss. Archie's from Ole Miss. Eli's from Ole Miss. Deion Sanders said we're gonna be like Archie. He got prank called from Ole Miss. That whole shit seemed, you know what I mean? Like,
kind of sketchy, you know what I mean?
A lot of collusion going on.
He got to work his ass off because he gonna be benched.
I mean, he probably 3rd string, but he ain't gonna be 1st string.
Dog was trying to listen.
Yo, you got 5 quarterbacks. That's crazy, bro. What?
This is his house. This is this man's house. Ezekiel 35:1. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, Ezekiel 35:1, just in case. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir.
Now, who is Mount Seir talking about? That's talking about the so-called white people, right? Which are Edomites, all right, according to the Bible, man. All right?
And prophesy against it.
That's what we're doing, prophesying against this devil, man.
Say unto it, Thus saith the Lord power, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate.
And you know what them owners did? They really fucked themselves because no matter how this plays out, this guy's an Israelite. So the Sanders family with the kingdom, they gonna be on you owners like white on rice. Because I looked up the owners, they're all Edomites except for like one, which is an Elamite. So he's gonna be on them too.
And like you said, it's a
in the same way they did that shaming ritual, crucified as Jake. They gonna do all types of shit with you guys.
Yeah, that's what it was. Shaming ritual where they all got together and they was like, listen, his father is cocky. He got a cocky spirit like his father. This apple don't fall too far from the tree. So what we're gonna do is he's scared.
And I think Deion more cocky than Shador.
Yeah, but He's slated for first round draft pick. We're going to make sure he don't get drafted.
In
the
other
first
words,
round.
like, nigga, who told you you're gonna be first round? Nigga, we pick first round. Like, shit. That's how it went down, bro. Like, who the fuck told you you're gonna be first? Because you know why? You know why, bro? Because Travis went to the second overall pick, bro. Travis was coached by Dion. But they was like, all right, this nigga Dion, they couldn't have done that with Travis Hunter, bro. Because it would be way too obvious, bro. See, Travis Hunter, he's a simp, whatever, you can say whatever you want about him, but this dude is once, and you're not gonna see another guy like that for, you know what I'm saying? Once in a generation.
Was it Deion Sanders supposed to be head coach in the NFL?
Yeah, man.
What happened? What happened with that?
I mean, look, you got a bad from Colorado, bro. But like I said, like,
And he coached his son. His coach played in His coach played in Colorado, and he was his son played in Colorado. He was the coach of Colorado. So he
coached
coaching
him
his
at
son.
his entire life. So, man, like I said, the moment he said, yo, he's gonna go, like, the owners are looking like, who's fucking nigga dictating the draft? All right, watch what we're gonna do to him. And they just made an ultimate statement, bro. The statement is this: we Edomites and we run this shit. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. It's our shit, our house. What you talking about? They gotta think like that.
Nigga.
Ezekiel 35:4. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord power. That I am the Lord.
Right. And you mentioned Dion being cocky, whatever, but Esau is the ultimate proud devil. Because Esau be saying, look, he's above the Most High.
Yeah.
You know?
He said he's gone.
He's God pretty much. I could make this. You know what? We just brought back the dire wolf that was extinct. So they doing all types of shit. They the ones that's really proud and lift up in their spirit, talking about we gotta humble the Sanders. Motherfucker, you devils are proud.
We gotta humble the Sanders.
Yeah. And they hate. You know why they hating so much? Because the Sanders family was blessed, bro. Blessed beyond belief with talent, bro.
And he's still into football. He didn't fade away like a lot of talent faded away, like the Charles Haley.
Well, you gotta understand.
He faded away.
Like Dion is setting a whole trend wherein
Family dynasty or something.
family dynasty. Not only that, players are now becoming head coaches. NIL deals are in place now, so players can make a big bag before even going to the NFL. So we seeing the NFL sort of lose a bit of power. Like, you know, ultimately you want to go in the league to really smack them over the head with the bag, but
You're right though.
But the NIL shit and like they looking like, yo, this nigga's really.
Still had a $20 million endorsement before he even got drafted.
Yeah, so they looking at Dion.
Sanders' son.
They looking at Dion. They looking at the Sanders shit like, yo, this
But
nigga's
if he don't
really
get no
up with it.
burn, then it's gonna fade out.
Everybody had a.
But you know what? You know what would have happened, bro? If they would have drafted him like he's supposed to be drafted high round, then everybody gonna look weird. I could go the Dion route. I could build my own shit and make the man. So they was like, nah, we gonna cut that now. Not only we gonna cut it, we gonna embarrass the fuck out of you.
yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
We ain't gonna do that no more. All right, Ezekiel, this shit crazy. Ezekiel 35:5.
There we go. That's the point.
Uh-oh. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred.
Perpetual hatred, man. Perpetual hatred, bro. Going all the way back to the garden. Why? Genesis, the 3rd chapter, I'll put enmity between thy seed and woman's seed. Now we know woman can't have seed. What is he talking about? It's talking about Jacob and Esau, Cain and Abel, whatever title you want to put on us. That spirit has always been yin and yang from the dawn of existence. So they hate us. Why do you think Edomites go hard against Jake like that? You don't see Edomites, they know for saying niggers and hate the fuck out of Jake. They don't hate on the nation like that. It's just Jake. Why? It's biblical, it's spiritual, bro.
That's right. You got a point there, bro. And you don't see Esau going hard on.
They don't even go hard on Africans.
They don't, because they know who they are.
It's just something in their spirit. They know it's Jake. They just hate Jake.
They know who the Africans are. They know that's the seed of Ham.
How come they're not saying let's hang this Chinese person, let's hang this East Indian? They don't do that.
Let's
It's
hang,
Jake,
let's
man.
hang this Hamite.
It's Jake. You
Right.
know? It's
Absolutely.
nigger with the hard R.
Go ahead, bro. Yeah. Ezekiel 35:5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity.
Now, who was the first to come against us when we came out of Egypt?
Amalek.
You know what I'm saying? Bro, this is the hero and the villain from And look at any series you have. This is Neo and Smith. All right, who else you got? This is Ultimate Rivals and shit.
Batman and Joker.
Batman and Joker. Well, Joker's kind of cool. Fuck
Yeah.
that. You know.
Bane and Batman.
That's how I was laughing. I was
not
over
Bane.
there where we be at in
Bane
midweek
is
camp.
like Batman, right?
Midweek camp. I was over there in that area,
Busted his
upper
back.
east side, and this Jake had an Edomite, young dudes, like 16, they had an Edomite chick, and the other Edomites was mad. He was like, he had her like this. He was like, you know that I was laughing in the inside, you know.
It's like Superman and Bizarro.
Maybe she wasn't an Edomite. She looked like an Edomite. Maybe she was just.
Yeah.
It's like Superman and Bizarro. I was gonna say Lex Luthor, but Lex Luthor's another cool character. But so Superman, Bizarro, they're like our polar opposite. Really, they are brothers.
Yeah.
They are brothers if you want to get to it, but they like the Bizarro version of us. We came out Superman, they came out Bizarro, all weird and shit. You know, and just
So weird as shit.
and leprosy, and just a perpetual hatred, man. So quick, real quick.
It's Amos chapter 1 verse 11. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword,
Yeah.
and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever."
Jesus, man. So you see that forever. Cain and Abel. And that's how come when Archie Manning did what he did, this shit didn't play out this way, because he's an Edomite. I'm saying straight up. You
But
know what I'm
Archie
saying?
Manning did what he did, and Elon went to the judge. He said he was at went to Arizona and Philip.
No,
Rivers.
he was supposed to go to the Chargers.
Yeah,
San
and
Diego. He
And
said, "I'm not
Philip
playing the
Rivers,
West."
and Philip Rivers was that went to the Giants.
Yeah.
What they did was, Philip Rivers, had he went to the Giants, he was. I mean, he probably would have had 2 championships. He left the NFL with no championship.
He was nice too.
And he was
Man,
nice.
he a Jake.
Yeah, but
Philip is a Jake. You have him mic'd up. He's a Jake, bro. So he tall.
but they switched it around, and the same thing they did with this shit with Deion Sanders' son, man. I mean, I think
He said basically Archie came in and made the man, yo, my son is not going on the West Coast. Like,
He
but
wanna
you know,
play for the Giants.
but you know what too? Archie, again, it goes back to that whole frat house shit. You're part of fraternity, that shit can have pull outside of college. That's why they joined it. You know what I'm saying? Because think about it, like if I'm a fraternity that make it high up in the society, we go back to the same fraternity, I could have pull.
yeah, you now have
Judges,
I can
lawyers.
have
Judges,
pull.
lawyers,
You
yeah.
got pull, bro.
Yeah. So, on top of the fact that they are perceived Edomites, because we got to get to that too, that the banners are also Israelites. But the perception is, so Salaki, I say he's an Edomite, but the perception
They
is
look like Edomites.
They look like Edomites. So let's let it fly because of their parents. But there's no way we're going to have this nigga and selling them big ass chains, coming to and dictate what we got to do and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Now,
These devils thought, okay, well, we let Archie fly because he looked like us, not knowing the Mannings are also Israelites, man. All right? That look like Edomites.
yeah,
See?
yeah, that's right.
So
Absolutely
Jake
right.
ultimately did get the last laugh, but these devils don't even see it that way.
Because they look at it on a carnal aspect of color, skin color. He's white like me, not knowing that your bloodline goes back to Jake.
Look,
you know?
man, we got to get this classic at some point. Deuteronomy 7 and 6.
I'm like, I don't
I'm
really,
good, man. I just hate
I
that.
don't really have none, but I'm gonna have some change. I'm gonna give it to you, but you wanna buy something?
Yeah, there's some shit. Yeah, the camera gonna catch it.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 7.
Sorry, brothers. I still got.
Oh, you got more?
I got more. I got a piece of too.
Okay, all right, that's good, bro. Let's go.
Freedom. All right, this is Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. It says, "For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power."
Damn.
You
guys should
It says,
you guys
yeah. It says, "For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power." It says, "The Lord thy power had chosen thee to be a special people unto himself."
Yeah, so really, if you had the spiritual eye to see just spirits, you find out the whole NFL damn near is all a bunch of jakes, man.
Yeah.
Now you do got Edomites in there too, because you have mighty men of the other nations. But the ones that excel beyond
Expectations.
like just the top of the top tier is Israelites. Why? Because Israelites, this is what Jake has that other nations
They're the
can't.
sword of the earth.
they have the spirit of the Lord with them. So whenever Jake want to tap into something, whether it be football, whether it be chess, whether it be whatever the fuck, it's gonna be extra because that oomph from the Lord is there. You wanna say something now?
I was gonna say real quick. I think it was the comedian Eddie Griffin who was making a joke. He said the NFL stands for nigga fucking league.
Yeah, he said that. Yeah, nigga league, nigga fucking league. He said that. It was Eddie Griffin and
Well, not even the NFL, bro. Like even the Olympics.
Dude, just sports in general.
Anything with look. If you see somebody selling something way beyond belief, it's a Jake.
You see them bitch white women? You see them bitch white women in the Olympics, the track and field?
Oh my God, bro.
It was that she was.
It be Jake versus Jake, bro. It be when you watch the Olympics, it's U.S. versus Jamaica. That's it. I'm track. But it's really Israelites versus Israelites. If you take away that whole American flag
Well,
shit.
you had to eat my woman did. She was running, she was in the lead, and all of a sudden she just got bypassed. You know what I mean? She was trying to keep her, she was bucking like, oh, so she looked to see the Jake pass her like, and another Jake pass
And
her.
they even say Jake got more fast twitch muscles and shit like that. So Esau even can't deny it with his side. It's like, yeah, shit, man, they just whatever. They just superior.
They got that touch.
It says, the Lord thy power had chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
That sounds like racism, huh? Yeah. Yo, racism not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing.
It's for your nation.
You know, really, when them crackers be like, get away from me, nigga, those are the ones that's in their right mind. Those are because the most sides are separatists. You're not supposed to be mixing and mingling and share culture. Fuck all that. Separate shit.
Mosai separated all the nations during the
That's
time
what-
of the Tower of Babel.
Yeah, right. If the Mosai was with that, then why would he didn't let the Tower of Babel rock? He didn't do that. He created separate languages to divide people. Because division creates order.
That's
right?
right.
Comfortable that way, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yo, bro,
comfortable, relax. you know what I mean?
me and my wife was talking about this. It's like, yo, when you work around Jake, it's better. When you work around Edomites and Moabites, it's fake. It's fake smiles. It's all fake and shit.
Oh,
You know, and you can't relate. You know what I'm saying? So
Unless the Moabite is actually a Jake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They you can vibe, but other than that, you ain't vibing with no fucking Moabite.
yeah, bro.
No.
You only look, man. You vibe with your nation, bro. All right, bro. That's what proves that the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the same people. We all gel.
And we all vibe with each other.
Right. It says, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Right. A so-called Ephraimite can look as white as snow, but when he say nigga, you don't fit.
Right.
He's not even saying like, oh, should I say nigga? He's just talking. And
regular.
nobody give a shit. But all of a sudden, what an Edomite do with his beard, because he's a fucking devil. You see what I'm saying? So it shows you that it's not just the outer appearance, bro. It's the whole spirit. You know what I'm saying?
No, spirit. Jake, no. You know what? If I'm vibing with this dude, I mean, chances are, but they don't have the spirit to distinguish between an Edomite or Jake. But two, so-called Edomite in the world and a Jake in the world, and they vibing. Chances are that so-called Edomite is a Jake. You know?
Yeah. You know, you do that sometimes. Like, you know, a lot of brothers do construction. They on the construction side with an Irishman. Or, you know, there's Irish
Scottish dude.
Scottish dudes, a Jake. You know what I'm saying? Just so,
like that in high school.
well, you saw the barber. He posted that thing with Stallone. So that's Stallone nigga walking like the whole walk. He was just oh shit.
That's Sloan's Jake. We all know that.
But I know, but people would think he's an Edomite. Italians, the Edomites. That
That dude's
motherfucker had the
Sicilian,
pinky ring on, just the whole
Sicilian,
swag,
man.
and just it's like clear as day, bro. But it's easy to see that when you. But wait a minute. Even when you're not in the truth, Eddie Murphy was just like, yo.
Look at that dude. Look at that dude out at a dude named in Howard Beach. You know what I mean? Everybody think he's Italian, but that dude, Jake, you know, he was coming at the Bonanno crime family and mafia and all that.
Well,
His
yo,
name was Crazy Chris.
But check this out, bro.
Crazy Joe Galli.
Crazy Chris from Howard Beach.
Yo, I had this Italian bitch, right? I was fucking whatever. And she was clowning Sicilian. She was like, look, she's like, hey, babe, we even got a name for them that's like,
Eggplant.
say, nigga, pretty much. They shitting on them. Like, you have the northern Italian shit on the southern Italian. Why? Because
Southern Italians, I think.
exactly, the ones of the north. And that's why this thing is spiritual, man.
Right, you gotta understand.
Even though they both look like Edomites,
Tell me that shit
even though they both look like Edomites, they know, like, yo, there's something different.
I got a precept. You got more?
One real quick. This is Romans chapter 8, verse 16. It says, the Spirit itself bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High.
What's the spirit? Prophecy, right?
Right.
Revelation 19 and 10. The spirit of Yahweh Shai, the spirit of prophecy. Prophecies let us know that we're the people of the Lord. You know, 1 John 4:1. Try the spirits. You just hang around an individual, you can read their spirit, read their vibe. Okay, that's a Jake.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But when you go into it, and you go into the vibes of Jake, and when you go into how society is set up, the Lord have this set up the way it's set up, that the NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball, all that's predominant, all that's dominated by Latin tribes, mainly the NFL. I'm saying Major League Baseball. That shit is dominated by Venezuelan, Dominican, Puerto Rican, and black. You got some Edomites there, but that shit predominantly fucking the Latin tribes. Bro.
Yo, if Jake left all these major sports, he should have no vibes. It'll be like wrestling. Nobody watch wrestling. I'm not talking about WWE because that's full of Jakes too. Jake's bringing entertainment. I'm talking about the Olympic wrestling shit. Nobody really watching it because
that shit is fucking whack.
It's boring. Jake makes shit fun. Jake was the one that came to the NFL, started dancing and celebrating and swagging out. Every sport. Now I'm seeing baseball players with Cubans on and shit. Jake make the shit lit. Like,
hey, how about the baseball player? I mean, you have a lot of baseball players, but he was running, and the Edomite was a catcher. The epitome of Edomite. He could have been a Jake, but the dude threw the ball to him, and the Jake just slid and got up and started fucking doing a moonwalk. And went to the he scored. Yeah. He did the moonwalk and then went to the dugout and started giving pounds to everybody. You know what I mean? I said, oh shit.
Yo, Usain Bolt running track and slowing down. Like, who would think of some shit like that? I'm like, yo, you could set a fucking record. Right. Well, Jake is gonna be like, fuck, let me slow down. Like,
how you gonna be running from second base to third base and slide it to home, and you get safe? You get up and start moonwalking backwards to the dugout. Come on, man. You know,
yo, but not only did this dude Usain Bolt slow down, you racing like the top athletes in the world. Like, yo, that's the only Israelite dude. Yo, bro, you racing like the fastest men in the fucking world, bro. And they all Israelites too. But like, my last shit on my mind would be to drop my hands, chill and shit. But I'm like,
that's Jake though, man. That's Jake for you. If I got a precept real quick, this is Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 7, and it reads, Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. And what you see going on in the sports world, yo, they have influence because not only that, in Japan, in China, you got athletes coming from Japan and China joining Major League Baseball. I don't know about NFL too much, but it's heavy in MLB, how you have Japanese players, Chinese players coming. I love baseball. Coming to America and becoming democratized, and they have no lick of they can't even speak no lick of English, but now they come over here and they learn English and they learn the ways of America, and that's being democratized, man. Even when you go to China and Japan, they're all dealing with democracy, but a different form of democracy. So it says, Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, and therefore the nations are mad. Because when you come over here and you deal with your own country, you come over here, you see that things is different from how it is in your country, man. And you gotta adjust, because maybe in Japan or China, a woman can't take 50% of your shit when she divorces you. But over here in America, she gonna get you for your shit. Especially if you're an athlete. Maybe over there in Japan, a woman can't get you. She could divorce you, but she leaving what she got. She can't get you for what the hell you don't have. I'm saying what the hell I'm saying you got, you made over here. You know what I'm saying, bro? Because you don't know. I don't know the laws in Japan. I don't know the laws in China. I don't know if a woman could get you 50%. But in America, they come over here. Shit.
American players get paid the most, bro.
Yeah, and that's why.
I mean, soccer players too can hit them niggas over the head. Those are all Israelites as well.
But how about the dude? I forgot his name.
Soccer.
That put all his money in his mother's name, and the Edomite chick she married him. No, she married him, and they're planning where he slept with her friend and tried to get her for adultery and tried to get her for half. He put everything in his name, and she was and she was a nurse or something, or she was some kind of
Yeah.
Purchased, she had prayer, and she wound up paying to find $1,000 in alimony. Bitch, like you said, bitch, see, you got what you
I
deserve.
have my money.
Because what she's trying to do is she's trying to get. She had her best friend sleep with this nigga, and couldn't find. Then she tried to divorce him. Couldn't find out he had no bread. Same thing with the UFC boxer, UFC fighter.
Israel Adesanya.
Yeah.
But they weren't married. They were just in a relationship.
For a year. And then she was like, then what she said, the proud spirit of these Edomites. She was like, oh, he was together for a year, and I helped him with his career. So
She
I
ended up
deserve-
paying him though.
So yeah, I know, but I deserve half of what he owed. We ain't married, bitch. I was with you for a year. I was giving you the high hour for a year.
Yeah, bitch took a shot. Yeah, he gets every shot you don't take.
Free throws ain't guaranteed.
That entitlement thing. You gotta listen to the brother Shamar about Shamar. You can't be entitled, man. You gotta get your own shit.
That's right.
They ain't listening to his brother. Right? Matthew 5:13. Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost its... Let me read that again. Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost its savior, wherewith shall it be salted?
Flavor, bro. Jake's the flavor. Also, really, Jake's is also the preservation of the earth.
Yeah.
That's what salt is used for. It's used to preserve. That's what I'm
That's
saying.
right.
So, without salt, you die, bro. The body needs salt. You see them goats that's on the cliffs, risking their lives?
Yeah, for the salt.
They doing it
Yeah.
for salt, bro. So, Jake is the salt in this thing, bro. And you know what, bro? If all Israelites was like mind melded and knew the truth and just walked off, really, we had a leverage in that sense. But, you know, we saw what happened with Black Wall Street. You can't start your own shit right now because this is not our rest.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because Jake already have all the talent and shit. They could come together and just start their own league and just say, fuck it. But it's gonna fail. Why? Curses, and that's not our rest.
Why do you think Ice Cube, this thing he had with the
I ain't gonna watch that shit.
but
Big
he had
three.
the big three, but it was successful because you had prominent players. You had prominent
Still going on?
Yeah, you had prominent players, but it's like he's not getting promoted the way he's supposed to because it's a thing. Whereas the NBA is like, yo, the NBA is like, listen, man, come on, you taking shine from us. The big three going against other people. You know what I'm saying? Big three over here, big three over here. Former NBA players, you know what I mean? Going against each other.
And they know how to shut shit down because didn't The Rock try to bring back the XFL, USFL and shit, but it's just like, they, you know, like nobody gonna watch it because it's like everybody know the main shit is the NFL or the main shit is the NBA, so they got a monopoly. It's not a monopoly, but like they cornered the
They got
market.
shit locked down.
Yeah, it's like,
You can't just come in and try to create your own
You need the networks and all that. It takes a lot of building.
sponsoring. You can't just come and create your own thing.
yeah, you can't. A lot of these leagues, they can't find it. They can't float it long enough. Like in other words, you got to get back some sort of return on your investment. Watch out for shit out there. Shit behind you here, so be careful. They can't float it long enough. You know, you need money to keep that shit up.
All right.
Yeah.
Drop it. All
got
right.
something.
Wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing but to be cast out and to be trodden underfoot of men.
That's what the Lord's going to do with these other nations, man. These saltless nations. I can't wait to have my way with these Edomite women, these Moabite women, and these other nations, bro.
You know what? I think about that all the time.
I ain't gonna lie, bro.
She was
I
fine.
was driving, bro, on my way to camp one time, bro, and an ancient spirit just got on me. I'm in a so-called Jewish neighborhood. In my mind, I was just like, man, I can't wait till I can just kill that nigga. You know, have his wife as a bed wench and slave his daughter. I really was thinking that shit, bro. I'm like, I can't wait till we just do that shit. Like, really just go to some ancient world and just take this shit over.
That's what's gonna happen. The New
We're
Jerusalem.
gonna have our way with a woman, bro. That's gonna be the best part. One of the best. Well, really, the best part is not going off with, bro. That's gonna be me personally. That's the best part. You want to serve the Lord perfectly.
The New Jerusalem coming down from heaven is us the men that make it coming down from the chariots and taking over the whole earth, man. Purging out the rebels, purging out.
That's gonna be the fun part.
Purging out the rebels. When you gonna go over to South America, you got these goddamn jakes over there that believe in Chesway Bozier AKA rappers Christians to the max.
You're gonna have to laser it out. Let's go.
You gonna have to,
A
you
lot
gonna
of
have to
shit
beat
that
the
we go
fuck
through,
out,
bro.
man.
I can't wait to put the meter mics to it, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have a whole bunch of shit I go for, bro. Oh, and well, the Lord said that. The Lord said in Deuteronomy 30th chapter, the 5th verse, all the curses I put on you, I'm putting on them. I'm gonna flip things around. You know? So I can't wait to put them into shit where they think they about to get us and come up and stuff. Fuck that. More help, bitch.
That's right.
Well, that's right. Hebrews chapter 13.
Just like how they did with Shador, gave them humiliation and gave false hopes and shit. We gonna really have a number of these fucking devils, man.
Well, they did that, man, because they wanted to shame him, because they wanted to humble him, because he was proud in spirit. They said, this nigga's too ugly, man, because of his father. You know, he got $1 million. He got, before he became into the NFL drafted, he got endorsements from different, agencies. So he was, and then his father was already rich, so he's already well off. So he didn't really need, but he had endorsements and everything. So now they're like, this dude is too ugly, man. You gotta humble this guy, man. Right or wrong, bro? This dude too ugly, man.
This is Hebrews chapter 13, verse 14. It says, "For here we have no continuous city, but we seek one to come."
Yeah, man, so this place ain't no fucking rest, man. Fuck America, bro. And we can't wait till the Most High destroy this shit so we can get the kingdom, man. You know what I'm saying? So all them jakes that was fucked over by devils, because Dion wasn't the first, man. Dion, the Sanders family, they've been fucking over Jake, bro. You know what I'm saying, in one way or another. And it's not just that, it's all these different organizations and shit like that shit on Jake. The Heavenly Father, yo, man, that's gonna be fresh in our mind, man.
I got a preset.
With the bonuses of hardcore slavery, bro.
I got a preset real quick.
Yep.
This is Micah chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest.
Yeah, depart out of America, man. And I don't mean take a fucking plane, you numbskull niggas, and fly to the land of Israel, call the Israelites idiots. You're still in captivity, bro. That land is not ours right now. You see what I'm saying? So take your mindset out of Babylon, okay? And please don't be simple. Don't be a fucking derelict. Priest said take your mindset out. So I'm not working. I'm not doing this. You know, that don't mean you gonna be fucking, what's this guy, Ryu? Street Fighter? Yeah. Just a nomad with a fucking book bag looking for the neck. Nah, bro. We just talking about, man, take your mind out of this shit. Lock
Take
your
your mental,
bro.
your mental.
Use this world, not abuse this world. Do what you
Exactly.
gotta do, but this shit come on, bro. This place is gonna be destroyed, man.
Come out of this place mentally and spiritually.
And first of all, wait a minute. At some point, chip is gonna come into play.
Right.
So if you really believe in this thing, you already understand that you can't have these riches. You know, because at some point you're gonna have to give that shit up. Because how you gonna do trade without having that chip?
That's right.
And that chip is gonna do more than just buy and sell, man. They're gonna have that shit hooked to your car, hooked to a lot of shit.
But now Donald
Your
Trump,
identification.
Donald Trump is talking about next month he's going to. It's called Liberty Coin.
Liberty coin, okay.
Bringing in Liberty Coin.
Yeah, stable coin?
Do away with the dollar, the paper dollar.
Sounds good to me, man. Straight shit up, bro.
Yeah, come. So it says, back in Micah chapter 2, verse 10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, evil for sore destruction.
Yeah, even with a sword destruction, bro. A lot of jakes that invest in the society end up finding out some curses is real.
Yeah, come.
You know, now you on 30 for 30 broke. A lot of them really too is just like, damn, they was like, yo, I was better off not even just being famous. So being because I'm in more debt than I've ever been. $1 million, $5 million, $10 million in debt. You talk about Adrian Peterson too.
And they gotta upkeep that image of you can't be famous and that's what you driving? That's what you wearing? This way you live?
Yeah, remember Young Jock? They put the camera on, I'm like, yo, it's Young Jock. But yeah, you got Adrian Peterson, $10, $20 million in debt, 30. He was $10 million in the hole, so he went to go borrow $20 million for somebody else. Fuck that bag up. So it's just like, yo, how you like, yo, I'm in a hole. If I was
mad as money, bro.
Right, he doesn't. But if he was like, yo, pretty much, if he was a regular Jake in the world, you wouldn't accumulate $20 million of just.
You got 7,000 dead.
Oh, it's still,
Yo, man, a regular Jake, you might be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50K in debt, maybe 100K. But 20 million? You only.
Wait, God! Not only that, Evander Holyfield has made over $300 million. The dude filed for bankruptcy. That's why he went. That's why after he ran the whole for the boxer, that's why he tried to make a comeback. He tried to make a comeback and fight some young dude. The young dude knocked him out in the first round, man.
Whatever.
But he got that bag. He got that bag that he got. But I mean, it cost you. It tarnished your fucking legacy, bro.
Yeah,
You was a warrior, bro. And now you come back in your old age because you need money. And
George Foreman was smart. George Foreman. George Foreman, girl. I got
but George Foreman, what he did was he came back, whipping ass. He's always a tough fighter. He's always hitting hard, whipped ass. You know what I mean? Became the champion by knocking out Michael Moore and made millions. Then when all said and done, he retired. He had that grip. You know what I mean? And other things he was doing. You know what I mean?
That man used to squat.
Some of these Jakes now, you know, like I said, Deion, and some of them move right. But that's the minority. Majority of Jakes, they come in more debt than they could have ever amassed if they was just living a regular life. Like I talked about, Peterson 20 mil, Tyson Crew 400 mil.
Allen Iverson, the basketball player. That's why, hey, bro, you know what?
My goodness.
You know what though? Ice Cube helped him out though because Allen Iverson, he was part of that big three, and he made millions off that.
But what about Dante West?
Yeah.
That dude became a fucking. He was a homeless. You a multi-millionaire from homeless. That's a sharp decline, bro.
Man, that's fucked up, bro.
Yeah, the West.
But it shows you that even though you sell your soul for the fame and fortune to be a part of Esau society, which is going back to Isaiah, the 51st chapter, the 7th verse, that cup that the Most High put in Babylon's hand to entice you. But guess what? You still a fucking nigga under the curses, and when it's all said and done, either you gonna die broke or Esau gonna come claim his tax. Look at Wesley Snipes. Black boy from Hollywood, had to do some time.
Red Fox, he took his ring off in his
Yeah.
deathbed.
Look at the shake right now.
I don't think that's true. When I did some due diligence, that one, none of that shit is confirmed.
I mean,
Still got a lot of money.
That's why I say look at
I've
the
seen,
shake.
I've seen those YouTube videos, but none's confirmed.
well, a lot of that shit be motherfuckers talking shit,
Not clickbait.
you know,
I look
just
at this shit, I'm like, there's no.
because the dude make over $500 million, man. So come on, man. And I see he was a smart investment. You know what I mean? You could tell he was a smart
He
investment.
can liquidate a lot of shit he has. A lot of those cars that he don't drive. He has so much shit to liquidate. Go ahead, bro.
Just going into how Jacob the chosen people. This is Ephesians 1, verse 3, and the title is the gospel of your salvation. So this is Ephesians 1, verse 3. Blessed be the power and Father of our Lord Hamashiach Yahushai, who had blessed us with all spiritual blessings in heavenly places in Yahushai, according as he had chosen us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before him in love. Verse 5, having predestinated.
Yeah, predestined, right? So we're blessed with the spiritual riches, which is the truth. See, the book of 1 Timothy, the 6th chapter, tells us in the 7th verse, came in this world with nothing to leave with nothing.
That's right.
So the carnal stuff you're not gonna have, but the spiritual stuff will follow you forever.
That's right.
Predestined, bro. So you want to have the spiritual riches, which the thing with the spiritual riches is the truth. Esau can't take that from you. Okay? Go ahead, bro.
It says, having predestinated us unto the adoption of the children by Yahushai.
You can't choose to be in the life. You can't choose to not be in the life. Everything is predetermined. All right, we always mention this. Time has already been played out, bro. We just need America to be destroyed in our timeline. Another timeline has already been done, bro. We on the chariots, celebrating, drinking wine.
In another dimension, it's all, like you said, it's all been destroyed, man.
Another dimension, another timeline, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's already been done. The scriptures tell you that he declared the end from the beginning. Alright? So all this stuff is being played out already. We just need that good on our side right now.
It says, unto the adoption of children by Yahushai to himself, according to the good pleasure of his will.
Alright? So it all comes down to election, bro.
right.
And that's what we pray and hope be a part of. See, we're gonna keep it humble, bro. We're gonna say we have the hopeful election. Because unlike Dion, we ain't gonna celebrate yet. We're not gonna celebrate before we draft. We're gonna celebrate after we've been drafted. You know what I'm saying? after you got that seat. Then I'm gonna be like, yo, you know.
Got it. But you know, Dion was always cocky in the NFL. A lot of people hated him when he was playing. He was a player because he was cocky.
But the thing with this is my whole thing with Dion, bro. Do that for you. Don't put your son in that. Because Shador got caught in the crossfire that shit, bro.
But he was also cocky. That's just his father.
Nah, bro. He's not cocky like Dion cocky, bro. Dion, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't going out there really like how Dion would have went out there. But to be equal, Dion could do that, bro. Like I said, whoever cares less holds the leverage. You're not gonna get another Dion, bro. But you're gonna get many niggas like that. Okay?
Yeah, you know, Dion is one of a kind, man, because he played baseball and football.
Nigga did a whole bunch of shit, bro. Ran track, he did all them shit the same day. Nigga ran track, finished the track, and he played basketball. He was,
I didn't know he played basketball. I didn't played baseball and
too,
football.
bro. He was dunking.
Dunk contest.
Yeah. Oh, so you right.
Back in the day, they had the dunk
He
contest.
played baseball.
Remember,
Like
Bo Jackson.
Remember, he had two numbers. He had 221. This nigga could do everything, bro.
Bo Jackson
Like
was
Bo
nice.
Jackson.
But he got that from Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson was the first to do that. But I didn't know until you mentioned the dunk contest.
He was dunk contest. Not only could he play all these sports, he could play both sides of all these sports. Nigga would intercept the ball, run it back, put him on punt return, run it back. It was like, yo, you can't pass on that, bro. No matter what this nigga say, you gotta grab that.
His defense, his offense was great. You put him on defense, intercept the ball, like you said. Lights out,
bro.
1-4. I mean, this
Yo,
dude,
bro, you know what Dion said, bro, one time, bro? When he said he went back to the Ravens at 37 years old, bro, to play defensive back. The nigga said, yo, it was the first time I really looked back and watched practice. He said, I never practiced. Like, no, they do. They practice. To make it in the NFL, you gotta. But Dion was just like, I never really practiced this shit. He was just God gift. Like, God gift and blessed, bro.
and they were saying that his
How you
son,
don't practice it and you gonna lock up Jerry Rice? Like that? Who could say shit like that, bro?
well, he was saying that his son, they were saying that his son will go to practice, but don't put an effort into practice, you know what I mean? Because he was good on the field, but I don't know all about that, you know what I mean?
I don't know.
But,
It seemed like they talking a lot of shit about
Because
that.
because you know they trying to clown him, they shame him.
They trying to show his character, bro.
They trying to shame him. Maybe they trying to get him whereas he won't be drafted to the NFL.
Yo, my whole shit too is like, alright, he got the Rolex on and shit. He's doing a little watch.
He's
He's
showing
doing
his
his
shit.
music.
He doing his
But
shit.
that ain't really like.
That shit ain't nothing, bro.
That, you know what I'm saying?
Young, that's
that
what
ain't
them
that
young
ain't
is
that ain't
doing.
like, yo, fuck you, shitting on my teammates type vibe. That ain't. You know what I'm saying?
That's not. It's showboating, but it's not really showboating to the point where
Like, want some swag, want some flavor. Like,
everybody got a swag with them. Even these Edomites, they voice and everything about certain things. But when you look at the Edomite voice and everything, he could be really a Jake. A lot of Edomites, they don't have really that flavor to voice like
yo,
that.
you remember
Like
that
Joe
time?
Namath.
But you gotta remember the time them Edomites tried that. They tried to. The Edomites, remember that one year they banned celebrating NFL?
Yeah.
And all the players was like, yo, this is the no fun league. Jake was calling it no fun league.
Because
Nobody, this shit was whack after that. It's like, yo, you
Celebrate. You couldn't celebrate. They get unsportsmanlike conduct for celebrating.
Joe Namath.
No, they tried to ban it, and then Jake was just like, this shit's trash. Like, they had to let Jake be Jake, because that's what sells the tickets. The wrestling, right? We can even jump into Israelite forums about this. Stone Cold Steve Austin, Ric Flair.
Jacob Fatu.
You gotta understand, Ric Flair told you, like, he was like, all that shit I was saying, I didn't write none of that shit. I was doing that. I was flying, I was coming off a Learjet. I throw the Gators in. He was just doing that shit.
He said, I throw the Gators on, jet flying, limousine riding, all that shit. He said he got the pinky ring on. He was just, he'd pop his collar.
That was him, for real.
That was his style. And then one chick said to Charlotte Flair,
I'm having a hard time keeping these alligators down.
Yeah. So check it out. This one chick, I forgot her name. She told Charlotte Flair, you think you on that because you write on your father's name, but how do you know your father really wanted you? Because after all, he's Ric Flair. He's probably having this good time, jet flying, limousine riding, and had some women on a one-night stand, and you popped up. And Charlotte Flair lost it on this bitch. Instead of beating the bitch ass. But because she got mad because when she said to Charlotte Flair, how you know your father really wanted you? You could have been a one-night stand.
Yeah, like, so.
That nigga, she lost it on her.
But when you look up at a lot of wrestling players, they're Israelites too, bro. This dude, Shawn Michaels, you know how Shawn Michaels come out the Heartbreak Kid doing all that shit? Come to find out, he improvised that, bro. Nobody told him to do that. So,
And that's him on the track singing too.
Oh, that was him?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm just
Him
a
and,
sexy
him
boy.
and,
That's
him and,
him.
that girl Cheryl, but she died. She died of an overdose. The chick that was with him all the time, that sang in the song.
But
with
I'm
him,
saying, imagine they just came in and did some wrestling and shit. No, nobody, that shit would make no money. But Jay came in and just, did Jay shit, make shit poppin', bro.
How about the NFL? I'm saying NBA back in the 50s when it was nothing but a bunch of white boys.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you had Jake coming in, bringing style and flavor. And that's when the NBA picked up. But at first you had nothing but a bunch of white boys in there. And Jake came in, a few Jake that came in, they made it exciting. So they started drafting more Jake. See, Jake brings flavor, man.
It can't be just physical because if you look at it, hockey is physical, bro. Them niggas can outright just fight.
Yeah.
Them niggas can catch the puck, bro. They can do a lot of shit.
Brain damage from that.
Yeah,
you got Jake.
but it's not as lit as these other sports because they don't really let there's Jake in hockey, but they don't really let Jake let loose, like you know what I'm saying, like let it be more swagged out.
One Jake that was in hockey and they fucked him up where he couldn't play no more, you know what I mean? Somebody hit him with a puck or something, or hit him with one of them sticks, and his head is shit, he couldn't play no more. You know what I mean? But Jake, the NFL, say the hockey league is not National Hockey League is not really a Jake sport. But Jake tried to get into it and take it over, but he didn't much like this is the only one
Bro,
sport.
only Jake's
The Northern Kingdom created that in Canada.
Yeah, but they were saying that listen, you're not going to take over this sport because this is the only sport that is nothing but a bunch of Canadians and a bunch of
Fishing
Edomites.
belong to Edomites too. Fishing.
Nah, you got Jake that like the fish.
Yo, if shit that's boring ain't look, bro. If it's Jake makes shit lit, that's just what
Now,
it is.
hunting
bro.
is an Edomite sport.
Yeah.
Hunting, that's an Edomite sport. Because Jake ain't with that hunting shit.
Chopping
You know
them
what I mean?
fucking trees down, the blood
too,
shots.
NASCAR, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, NASCAR racing, that's
That's
chariot
that
racing.
Roman shit. That's that
chariot
Roman
racing.
shit. That shit was dangerous.
That's chariot
Yep,
racing back
yep.
in the ancient world. That was chariot racing with the horse and buggy. The same thing modern day chariot racing is NASCAR racing. That's the modern day thing about that, you know?
Jeremiah chapter 10 verse 16 says the portion of Jacob is not like them.
Yeah, bro. Yo, no matter what you watch, bro, I'm in the video games too. Come on, brother. I'm fighting games, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, top players. Jake.
You know that.
Jake.
Yep.
You got Sonic Fox, you got Ninja Killer, Mortal Kombat.
Jake.
You go to Street Fighter, then you got some dude. They thought they thought it was gonna be all anime, the Japanese, because Street Fighter's Japanese. You got a lot of top Japanese players. Guess what? Some so-called Simonite came out there, beat their ass.
Right.
So it's just like, Israel, bro.
Jake got that flavor, bro. That's sauce,
Israel,
bro.
bro. Go ahead, bro.
I always say there's the things Jake is not good at, is the things that we don't have access to. Every time you get access to something, it's over with. Yep.
My boy, he do that game and shit after work. Co-worker, he likes to play them Japanese dudes and bust their ass.
Yeah.
He feel it's a challenge.
It says, the portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things.
Form of all things, bro. Right? So, like, hey, bro, once Jake taps his spirit into something, it's over, bro. You forget about it. He's going to be the greatest. You're going to need another Jake to take him down. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's what they, remember the Buffalo Soldiers? They used that to go against Gad. Yeah, Buffalo Soldiers take down Gad because Gad was fucking Esau up. So you got to put up another Jake to take out another Jake, really. Yeah.
It says, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance, the Lord of hosts is his name.
Right, so the Lord's chosen a special people are the Israelites, man. The Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. And you know what's wild too, bro? You might look at like a Michael Jordan or Mike Tyson. There's a bunch of Jakes like that.
Yep.
But they probably just bagging groceries or shit just didn't turn out for them. You know what I'm saying? But you got a lot of Jakes that, because I remember when I played football, a lot of these Jakes be super talented but can't get the grades together. You know what I'm saying? They did. They just out there, but it might be grades, it might be gang shit, it might be whatever. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of our people all like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Shannon Sharp was just saying the same shit. He was like, yo, I couldn't get my grades together for shit, but he made it, but he got in there, all them Super Bowls. Chad Johnson couldn't get my grades together, but he said I only had one shot. He said I bowled out with Oregon State for 4 months. And then, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you got a shit ton of Jakes out there, bro. That's tough. Hell, man, we had a brother in the camp. He got drafted in the second round. You know what I'm saying? Way back when. You know what I'm saying? So there's Jakes out there, bro.
You got something?
Yeah, second round. But we had a brother. We got a guy that listened to, first round. Played with the Giants, Super Bowl rings.
Isaiah 43:10. It says, "Ye are my witness, saith the Lord Yahweh, and my servant whom I have chosen, that ye may know and believe me, and understand that I am he. Before me there is no power formed, neither shall there be after me." So the Lord is basically saying that always the scriptures is repetitive. So the Lord likes to repeat himself because, for one, Jake is a hard-headed, stiff-necked people, and secondly, to let his point really come across. So the Lord is saying, I've chosen the so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans from Judah on down to Issachar, man. The Lord has chosen them, man, right? And the Lord Yahweh is the Father of all spirits, good and evil. The Lord is letting you know there was no power before me, and it won't be no power after me, man. Period. Right? Yeah.
I got something different topic. Baruch 3:8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
Yeah, we yet to stay in our captivity. America is our. Try to leave America without a passport. You can't. I'm saying, so this place is our. We're contractual slaves, if you will, man. And sometimes it's just like, damn, bro. Hardcore slavery will fuck you up, but the mental shit that Esau's doing now really fucks Jake's up mentally too, man. I mean, just like one shit after the next, bro. This man's system, man.
I was gonna say too, as much as Esau hates us, he needs us more, because if every Jake wants to say, fuck it, I'm gonna leave America, they're gonna pass the law that says you can't leave.
Yeah, it's a lot, bro. Jake is, the best landscapers that's building up all these fancy ass houses, go to certain places, Long Island, Westchester County. Man, these beautiful ass homes. You look at who's doing the landscaping. That's building this shit. You know what I'm saying? There's actually a scripture in the curses that goes into that, talking about how you're gonna build the houses when not living in them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So Jake really built this shit up.
Cause Jake is all into construction. Just building everything.
Right, brother.
Baruch 3:8. Behold.
Man, we built up every fucking society, bro. Right. Right, bro.
Yep.
Egypt.
Yeah. Baruch 3:8. Behold, we are yet. They want to give the credit to goddamn green men and gray aliens, saying the
Word.
Yo,
That shows you that's a devil.
That's a devil.
That's a devil for you. There's no way Jake did it. It was aliens. And niggas don't believe that. It's too complex. The shit's too heavy. Not even our technology.
How do they move the
Math always exists. It's just went on a different name. Mathematics and certain things, it has to be there.
How shit is this, right? Which one's more complicated? The fucking pyramid of these things. Look at these massive skyscrapers. Jake figured out how to make them shits, right? So how the fuck you tell me you can't put one block onto the next? Hey, wait a minute. Hold on. The pyramids are so deep, so why ain't Mexico? Right? So it shows you. It was Issachar building that shit up in Egypt. Issachar came, built it.
Yep. Baruch 3:8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments.
Subject to payments. That one hit home, bro. Because there's always something to pay.
Yeah.
There's always something to fucking pay, and bills and new shit pop up. That's the way this man's making society, for you just constantly paying. You can't enjoy your check, bro. Because guess what? Before you even get your check, you're spending it in your mind. This is due, that's due.
Yeah.
Bro.
And then, not only that, real quick, when you start saving a little money, something pops up. Now you gotta pay that nut. You know what I mean? So now you're back to square one. Broke. You know what I mean? See, happened. That's ain't the scripts, bro.
It was all good just a week ago.
And if you want a so-called good job with benefits, they're gonna tax your check even more.
Yeah, the more you make, the more they tax.
That's why I don't do. Now, Donald Trump passed the bill, whereas you do overtime now, they ain't gonna tax your shit. You know what I mean? So he passed that.
He passed that bill?
But it's in effect yet. It gotta get in effect.
You sure? I don't think he passed it though. I think
He made it. He made executive order, but they didn't pass it.
Because you gotta understand, executive orders, a lot of them have to go through the Supreme Court. So saying?
So now-
they get passed. So you could say this is executive order. I don't mean it's going to go into effect.
But guess what though? You know, that's why I don't do overtime no more. I try to, you know, you do overtime, and you think you're gonna, you do. They say, one week I did 56 hours. That's a lot of overtime. Yo,
That's
they
regular
cut this-
overtime, to be honest.
I mean, if you only getting 40 hours, that's extra 16 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they cut the shit out that motherfucking check. You know what I'm saying? With the taxes, man, I'm like, I ain't doing this shit. I'm fucking busting my ass working 7 days for this shit. Man, fuck y'all, man.
The best thing, bro, me personally, I realized is to be on salary, but have a role where you're not getting on the hours. Because when you hourly, the more you work, the more you make. But when you're on salary, the more you work, the less you make. So if you have that sweet spot where you got a nice salary, the job you leaving right on time, that's what you want to do, bro.
That's why working overtime, bro. I tell anybody, working overtime, it's not worth it, man. If you work 56 hours 1 week, and by the time you see your check, and then like I said, they put on the same, they put everything, they put your regular hours and then your overtime on a separate check. Now they don't do that. On my other job, when I worked before this job, if you did overtime, they give you overtime on a separate check, so you see your overtime, even though they tax you, but you can still see a great deal of your money. Not on this job, bro. They put everything on one check and they tax the fuck out you.
That's most jobs, though. If you do overtime, it's all in one check.
Now, but some jobs they give you 2 checks, overtime check and your regular check, bro. That's how it was in my other job. You had 2 checks, an overtime check. You know what I'm saying? You would get taxed, but not as much as you would get if they put everything on one check. And that's how it is in my job now. So it ain't worth doing overtime, man. So you get there, you work overtime and it's wasting your time, man. You're burning yourself out just to get fucked over by the state, you know what I mean?
Like you was reading?
Yep. This is Baruch 3:8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments,
Tails.
according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our power.
Right, going back to the curses, the Deuteronomy 28th chapter, all the curses hit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Everything the Lord said he's going to do us, he did to us. Why? Because he went off. Now, not every single Israelite worship other gods. But guess what? The Most High judges the whole nation, bro.
As a whole.
You know what I'm saying? So, you could have been an Israelite that's always serving the Most High, because the Most High is always going to have a remnant. But the Most High said, look, I'm going to send you into captivity with you, king. So even though King David is king, the Most High showed him hella mercy, he was in those translations. You know what I'm saying? So,
Exactly.
and we're scattered. That's how we were just talking about the Israelite fauna thing, man. We got a bunch of jakes that look like other nations, man. Hey, man, there's some bitches out there. There hasn't been jakes with them. Man, I don't know.
I mean, you go to TikTok, you see how these women, they put these challenges when they start dancing on that Tupac video. How do you want it? How do you feel them? They be looking good. Them Edomite women, they be dancing and everything. And they check. They would say their name, 2 or 3 of them.
You know what I'm saying?
That's those in New York.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
But hear me out, though. If you got the right woman out there, she's shaped like an egg with 2 legs. But she got long hair.
I was gonna say that.
And then you have the nigga woman, she can have a banging body, but the bitch
You
body.
got-
So it's like, you know what I mean?
Maybe that she's.
I'm not knocking this woman or anything, you know. She could be a good person with so cold, but I'm just saying, like, yo, I mean, you know what I mean?
Come home to that, I'll be pissed off, man.
Guess what though? I mean, she's skinny and all that. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? She probably ain't giving her man hell. Maybe she is. You know what I mean?
That's one thing I say with Issachar, bro. You see them with a bunch of kids and a family and shit, so
Yeah. You never really see them
they're not really
up in
wilding
family
out.
court like that either.
They're not really wilding out. Exactly. That's the thank you.
And I've been in it for 10
That's
years,
a
so
good point, bro.
I've
The
seen,
Issacharite woman, you gotta
I've
give
seen
them that,
everything.
bro. They don't lead their man. Like the Issacharite man could really just have a regular job and provide, and that'd be enough for him.
But you know what?
One time, driving on Atlantic Ave, behind this truck, Issachar, you know what I mean? Truck, right? He's doing construction. This woman jumped out the truck with the fruits, with the baby on the back. You know what I'm saying? And he went to work and she went to work. I said, damn.
Yeah, bro.
Look at that shit. What the fuck? You know?
That's what you call a bottom chick, yo.
You know what I'm
She with
saying?
you, you know what I mean?
Right back.
Alright.
Yeah. This is are you finished? No, my bad.
Yeah, you
Bro,
got it.
every week it's like she walked around in circles somewhere, yo.
She got here early. Maybe she going out.
This is Haggai chapter 1 verse 6. It says, "You have sown much and bring in little. You eat, but you have not enough."
Every Israelite can relate to this, bro.
Right.
Every Israelite can relate to this, bro. Well, his brother was just talking about it. He did 56 hours overtime.
That's wild right there.
He was like, damn, I was better off just working 40 hours. That's some shit. Like, bringing in little.
It says,
So every time I get more money in my life, I get a better job, I get a better career, and
More
the
problems.
bill that came right in there. It just feel like you always not really, you know what I'm saying? It's
Scared to
just
go to
balancing
that
out.
mailbox.
I
Scared
never-
to go to that mailbox.
There's never a huge gap between what I'm making and
right.
even though I'm making more now, but it's just like the bills, everything just came right along with the shit. Like,
Yeah.
you just feel like,
It just seemed like sometimes I'm like, yo, when I used to make less, I never had all these fucking bills. I had less shit going on, right? More money, more
I
problems.
was gonna say that. That's a curse.
Then when you work in
in
certain jobs,
Yeah.
you gotta get this what's the name, like I get the Affleck joint where they take out of my check, because it's a time where I might get injured and I can't come in, and they basically give me bread.
Or if you have a union job, right? They're
Yeah,
taking
yeah,
your
man, I
cut.
got a union.
Period.
Oh, yeah,
Period.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's taxes
Yeah.
on top of union
Oh,
fees.
look at that, yeah. I'm sorry, you know.
yo, man, I was in the market, I got into a play, I hit a few bands. Next thing I know, a few bands gotta come out. I'm like, damn, I'm like, yo, what the fuck, man? I was just like, oh, yeah, bro.
It says, "You have sown much and bring in little. You eat, but you have not enough."
But you know what, bro? We content.
Right.
You know, we content, bro. We understand the nature of the Heavenly Father. Some dumbasses in the world will curse the Most High. But God, why is this? Look, man, the Most High keeps us content, keeps us humble because it's for a better purpose, it's for a greater reason. Just like a child, you discipline your child. Why can't I eat these cookies? Why? They don't understand, like, the cookies are fucking up. It's a sugar rush, and in the long term, it's going to fuck you up. So that's what Yahweh Shem Shah is doing with us. All right? Because if you notice, brothers are very intelligent. Brothers have good careers.
Yep, now look behind you. Picture yourself as this middle square, and this bottom square is somebody, and this top square is somebody. You always gonna be in this middle. Somebody always gonna be at the bottom. Somebody gonna be at the top.
Yeah. But the Most High, again, the Most High has brothers content for a reason. Because the Most High can make the whole camp billionaires if he wanted to. But you don't want that. You know what I'm saying? Because that will make you forget about the Lord. You know what I'm saying? So the Most High, he keeps us good. And he's not unrighteous to where the Most High, how do you have an uptime? The Heavenly Father will have brothers get blessed beyond belief. But then sometimes you got to bring it right back down. Why? To keep us humble, to keep us in the truth, and to make sure that we hate this fucking place.
Balance.
You know, it's balanced. Because when you get in them jams, you get stuck up. Guess what's the first thing on your mind? Lord, just bring the kingdom already. You know what I'm saying? So that, you know, that humbleness keeps us, our mind locked in on what we our true desires, which is the kingdom of heaven.
Just to add on to what you're saying too, part of the thing of being in this truth is that we're supposed to need Yahweh Shai. So if we don't need him, then it's like, what we doing?
Yeah.
You know? So the Most High, like you said, he's gonna bring us up. But even while we're up, we still gotta need and praise him. But when we're really low, we need him more. And then what did the Lord say? When he put us in a lower state, we gotta cleave on to him. So we're supposed to be constantly just, you know, like Jacob and the angel. When he was not letting go, the angel's like, yo, bro, look,
Let me go,
like,
man.
get off me. You know?
I want that blessing.
You know, Jake that's truly blessed, like the Floyd Mayweather's. Do you think he called on the Lord?
I don't
Do you
know.
think he think about the Lord? Of course not.
Maybach knows that for sure.
I mean, he think about how he's gonna. I mean, what he's gonna do, what country he's gonna explore. He probably been all over the world, man.
He bent over for them so-called Jews. Yeah, bro.
It says, "Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. and he that earneth wages to put into a bag with holes.
It's always seeping out. Bro.
Damn.
Always seeping out. Yo, man, but you know what's crazy when you lose all that bread, or you get down, or some shit happen with your cars, your apartment, some shit happen with the family. You got the scriptures now. Comfort you to understand why things happen. You can get Proverbs 4:7.
Sure, I got something. Go ahead, bro. It's Ecclesiastes 12:1. Remember now thy created in the days of thy youth.
Yeah, you really want to get this thing when your mind is malleable, right? When it's more impressionable. When is it more impressionable? When you're young.
Right.
You see, a lot of times when Jake's pretty much setting their ways for X amount of years, it's very hard for this truth to come in because
They set their ways.
They set their ways. You know what I'm saying? So you want to see the creator. If you look, the camps is young men. Brothers coming young and then they get older in this thing. You don't really normally see a bunch of older people come out here and listen. You know what I'm saying? But most brothers came in the 1920s, you know what I'm saying?
Remember now thy created in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh.
You always say this, man. This thing's an investment, bro. This thing's an investment. We try to buy low. Right now, you know, it don't look like, I mean, even though to us it's evident, you know, what's going on, but to a lot of people in the world, they just thinking shit gonna keep going on, so they don't want to invest in this thing and come out here on Saturday and risk their time, so cold, or risk their boss seeing them. But we, fuck it, we're making that investment because we know, hey man, you're gonna have a huge cash out in part of your life. The largest cash out in history, bro.
Right here. Nor the years draw nigh when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. Yeah, when you're too old to move around or whatever, you can't, your body doesn't have the endurance as it when you was in your youth. You're too old to come out. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I mean, look, the apostles up in age, they still come out and teach. You know what I'm saying? Decades still doing it. Why? Because they want to be saved, bro. Give diligence to make a call and election sure. But you're not going to see again people come out their age. By the time they that age, more people just going to sit back, watch the shows, you know, give. You know, that's okay. You know, you might can make it like that. You know, but
Right now, everybody is so-called enjoying their life.
yeah, they got their plans for the future. But you know what? Get Hosea 5:15, bro. It's gonna come a time, man, when everybody's gonna want to buy it. It's gonna be too late.
This is Hosea chapter 5 verse 15, and it says, I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense and seek my face. In their affliction, they will seek me early.
In their affliction, they shall seek me early. That's what Jake do, right? When Jake get locked up, his back against the wall, he finds some sort of religion.
He call him Jesus or Allah.
Call Jesus, Allah, or whatever. They try to seek the higher power. Typically, when their back's against the wall. So imagine when all hell is breaking loose, people don't want answers.
I'm not gonna lie,
Just like
man.
in 2020, bro. Man, the Apostles' videos are getting crazy views, bro. Why? Because the whole fucking world got shut down. So when all hell breaks loose, that's what they're gonna do.
Everybody seek when adversity comes, and Apostle Paul always says that. Jake don't respect nothing, but when adversity comes, that's when they want to find out. They respect violence, and they want to seek answers, look for answers, but it's gonna be too late. Like when martial law hit, and when Jacob Trouble commenced, when Jacob Trouble was on full blast, that's when 2/3 and the rest of niggas that know that they're Israelites is gonna want to get in the proper order. But it's gonna be too late, you know? If you're not in order now, when all hell break loose, you're not just gonna be able to pop in the order like, okay, you know me? Like these people out here walking back and forth, talking shit, you got an influx of a lot of people on TikTok, mainly nigga women, and you got Jakes talking shit about the Hebrew Israelites. Am I lying? When you go on TikTok, you're gonna see a lot of nigga women talking shit about the Hebrew Israelites.
Oh, you know the elder on the background. Yeah, he be sharing them videos. They gonna be talking shit on TikTok.
Yeah. Elder, when I was out from South Carolina 08, he goes into a lot of these women and niggas. Simp ass niggas talking shit against the Hebrew Israelites, man. Wanting to worship, wants you to come back. And one dude was like, why don't you just come back to Jesus? I don't know that nigga. Fuck Jesus,
bro. Jake has been calling off for Jesus for decades.
Even during the time of slavery, he ain't help you. Jesus
what-
never delivered
so
you.
what the fuck? Like, y'all can't get it that that's not his name? Me?
And he was like, how he said it? He was like, why don't you Hebrew Israelites come back to Jesus? Come back to Christianity. Leave that fake Hebrew Israelite thing alone and come back to Jesus. Man, I was like, yeah, I was so pissed. Man, I just fast forward to the part where the apostle said where the elder was talking. I couldn't stomach the shit that this dude was saying, man. I didn't want to hear them, man. The dude was out of his mind, man. Come back to Jesus.
He just created content for you. So, you know what I mean?
I know.
This is Amos 8 and 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord.
Right, and the scriptures tell you that man can't live by bread alone. All right, so you're gonna be famished. Why? Because famine is really the lack of access to food. And there's gonna come a point where this shit's gonna get shut down. There's not gonna be any YouTube videos going up, and they're gonna wipe a lot of shit. You ever just get a notification on Gmail from YouTube? They took your video down, and that shit was like 4 years ago.
Yeah, all the
So
time.
they could just wipe shit out. They could just have those AI robots look for everything with Israelite and just wipe it out. And how are we gonna be setting up camp with all help picking this, bro? You
That's
know?
impossible.
Yo, bro, you know what happened one time, bro? I'm coming out of work and my phone just stopped working. Nothing was wrong with it, it just shut off. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I was just in my head like, yo, like, what if they did this to everybody? Like, you just can't communicate to nobody. Like, imagine
You're on your own.
you can't make a call, you can't reach on the internet.
You're
They
on your
could do
own.
that, bro.
You're on your
That
own.
happened to me. They locked my phone.
They could do that,
You're
bro.
on your own. That's it.
They could lock everything off if they want to. That would create mass pandemonium. You think we're gonna be out here and meet it up and nah. We're gonna be in the spirit, like, you know?
Yeah.
That's how that's
Shit,
gonna happen, man. You know what I mean? Yo, when you look at everything on a spiritual aspect, man, they giving up for something big, man. Who knows when it's going to happen? It can happen at the end of this year. It can happen. 'Cause right now, we in the Feast of the Beast.
So May 1st, right?
Yep. We're in April 20th to May 1st, which is the Feast of the Beast, where it's mass sacrifice, war, death, and destruction. That's one of Esau's high holy days, when they like to worship. It's called the Feast of the Beast.
May 1st is the last
It
100
is.
days of Trump. Yeah, in there too.
And then also May 1st is also May Day, which
May
is
Day.
the Illuminati, another one of the Illuminati high holidays where they use ritual sacrifices because of the fact that they're saying that May 1st was the Declaration of Independence. No, that's July 1st. July 1st. But that's actually, one of their high holy days, May 1st, man. Where they do ritual sacrifices. So you got to look at the high holy days and the occult Sabbaths of the Illuminati is going to bring it up. You can't make this shit up, man. Esau, he put things in plain sight because Jake don't like to research. So he put it up there. But it's up there. If you got the code and the key to the exact website, you can punch it up and it come up and hey, you good, man. But if you don't have it, you don't have it. And that's how Jake is, man. Jake, they like to look, when Jake go on the internet, they go look for father, twerking videos, fighting videos, shit that don't have no merit. The shit that's out there in the ether that's stupid.
The big thing used to be World Star Hip Hop. That shit kind of died out now.
Yeah.
I don't know if nobody really on that
Because
shit.
the nigga from World Star, the creator, died. You know that, right?
Oh, he died?
He had a heart attack, yeah.
Oh,
He had a heart attack, yeah. He had
yo, I stopped watching that shit
about
when
5
they
or
had
6
all
years
the
ago he
fucking ads,
died,
yo. I'm
man.
like, what's my ads, yo? So fuck them.
He had like 5 or 6 years ago he died.
Yeah, there's too much ads. But that was one of the things we used to always bring out. World Star Hip Hop. Well, that's what we grew up, really.
It was like World Star.
Remember you and Slut? Yeah, World Star. Word. Niggas were just wild nigga shit and shout out World Star.
That shit is stupid, man. But guess what? That's why the Mosai put that nigga, the creator of World Star to death, and that shit just dwindled out. At first it was still kicking because his family was upholding it, but I guess it tell you in the scriptures, when a person passes on and leaves something to somebody else, who knows if they're going to take care of it the right way, or they're going to use it to still keep his content hidden. You know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying about roughly paraphrasing? So
Yep.
it has dwindled out, and other platforms came like Scoops or TikTok and but
There's
TikTok.
always gonna be some next shit, bro.
Yeah, but TikTok also got kind of. Because usually TikTok used to put up a lot of truth videos about what's going on in Ukraine. You don't see that no more. You don't see that no more, bro. If you go into TikTok, once they got kicked off and then Donald Trump brought it back, it hasn't been the same.
I don't follow TikTok like that. I like YouTube.
I mean,
'Cause I
YouTube.
like watching lengthy videos.
I mean, TikTok will bring.
But YouTube got shorts. YouTube got YouTube shorts, but TikTok do got a lot of shit. So you right?
Yeah, but TikTok is not the same no more. Ever since Donald Trump brought it back, it was like they had some kind of regulation done, whereas they can't put up true videos like that. They put up a lot of folly now. So you go on TikTok, you wasting your time. You will see. You will see some videos, but all the videos that used to come out on TikTok, where you can do shows on. I remember back before TikTok got banned and it got reinstated. I could go on TikTok and bring all kind of videos, record them, and do shows on it. Now you can't do it. You gotta search hours trying to find a video.
Oh, well, that's why he just read it. Amos 8 and 11. So right now, we putting up videos. You can, get subscribers, gain views, all that type of stuff. But they're gonna shut everything down, man. Get this truth while you can. It's not gonna be here forever.
So people put off from day to day of getting this truth.
Well, get that. Put that off the Lord from day to day.
We just right here, man.
You got something for us?
No.
All right. Amos 8 and 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord.
Exactly. Right? Hearing the words of the Heavenly Father is going to come a point in time where you're not going to hear the words of the Heavenly Father. All right? You've seen that change in a way, because we used to be out there on 34th. A lot of people be hearing this thing, now, like the pastor mentioned, really, the going out is kind of just a backdrop. We're just here to teach. The main audience is on this internet thing. You know what I'm saying?
Uniform.
Yep. And 34th, a lot of people out there got marked. See? And people be like, well, why y'all teach here and not 34th? Because it don't matter where you teach at, man. Because in a sense, we're like, it does matter because you got to go on the highways and byways. But it's really how many sincere people you have come listen to. Because down there on 34th, you got a bunch of people standing there listening to shit. Only when it's nice out. Winter time came out, it was a ghost town. You know what I'm saying? And we was out there longer, 2 to 9. You know what I'm saying? 2 to 8, 2 to 9, something like that.
Nobody be listening.
So
They come out there when we're standing on. They didn't come out when we're standing on.
they was only there for big arguments, bro. Like, what's the
Polite pull up.
You know what?
Say polite or somebody pull up.
Yeah. Niggas is there,
Yeah, called strife. I got a scripture.
We'll strive to get some monetary gain by uploading video.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 5, verse 7. Make no tarry to turn to the Lord and put not off from day to day.
Niggas be doing that. I'm enjoying this truth after I do this, after I do that. You shouldn't be putting the most on the back burner.
I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Now,
Oh, my work is caught up. Well, we got a guy, he got put out. Listen, pray for me. Pray for me, y'all. Yo, put in a good word for me, huh? Yo, my cousin heard that shit. He was like, a good word. Good say.
One thing I can say is coming in the truth. Anytime I've always turned on a job, they decided that I have to work every Saturday or coming late on the Saturday. I was like, man, fuck that. The Lord always blesses me with a better job. So if he was really sincere about it, he could have prayed to the Lord and said, Lord, bless me with bless me with another job to where I don't keep missing camp, or just put a blessing on me to where I keep this job and I can still come to camp. Like,
you know what this guy had, bro? No faith. No faith, bro. If you have faith in the Most High, you know the Most High is going to have a way to see you first. Now you back in the, well, I'm not going to say back in the world, but you back in the world. If you ain't here, you back in the world.
here. I already know what
bro.
you're talking about. He ain't here. I haven't seen him. How long have he been in camp?
But, now you're just another example of what happens when you put off the Lord. You know, coming out once, not, it's one thing not coming out, now you're not doing shows.
Oh, because I'm too busy at work. Hey, but who provided with that job?
God, right.
And you get a break. Like in one of my jobs where I get an hour break, I used to like try to do some shows during an hour.
Yo, let's start thinking about this, right? You wanted to work 5, 6 days a week, 8 hours a day for Esau. You can't put in 10 minutes for the Lord, bro.
Yeah.
20 minutes for the Lord?
Yeah.
So it says right here,
Come on, bro.
there's another
I
scripture.
mean, I'm talking about a 10-minute lesson.
Right.
You can't do that.
There's a little more. It says, back in the book of Sirach, chapter 5, verse 7, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord Yahweh, and put not off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord Yahweh come forth in thy security, thou shalt be destroyed.
When all hell breaks loose, these type of niggas gonna be the first one to drop to their knees. Please forgive me, Yahweh Shah.
Help me, please. I'm in dire straits.
Blowing the dust off your garment. You know, like when a superhero comes out of retirement, look at his costume and shit. That's gonna be you guys if you still have your garment.
They haven't.
Talking about what's the dude Samuel Jackson in Incredibles?
Oh
What's
yeah,
that, Incredibles or
Frozone.
whatever it
It's
was.
gonna be like Frozone. Nigga dusting off his garment from me. Yeah.
Speaking of Samuel Jackson, I was watching that movie Black Snake Bone again. That shit is crazy, bro. You ever seen the movie Black Snake Bone?
We used to have a poster on the. We had the campsite. He was on there. He had the bitch in the shotgun.
Watch that shit, Black Snake Bone, man. That shit is a fucking crazy movie, man. And what she did was, right, I'm gonna tell you this one part right here, Black Snake Bone, right? She was a nympho. So you had this young Jake that came, because his father was cool with Samuel Jackson. He came to see his father was there, and she was there. Samuel Jackson was out, and she was there. She had a chain on her, but the chain was able to reach behind the whole house. He came in, the door was open, so she grabbed him up, and with her foot, she slammed the door, boom, and took the dick. Yeah, it is crazy, bro. She raped the nigga, man.
You can't rape no man.
I mean,
That's bullshit. Because first of all,
he was younger than her.
no, you can't rape no man. Because sex can't take place unless the man is erected.
Well,
So there's no
yeah.
such thing as raping a man.
Yeah,
The man has to
well,
be aroused. It's not
well,
like
he
a
was
woman where you
aroused.
can force yourself into a woman. You can't force yourself into a man. All right? Sex cannot take place unless the man is
well,
erected.
it showed you the movie how she was aggressive. And he was a younger cat, like 14,
He was
15.
with it.
And
He was
she
with
was
it.
like,
If his
yeah.
dick wasn't hard, nothing would have happened.
Yeah, see, he was with it, yo.
Yeah, bro, so they don't rape
And
no
then
man.
Samuel Jackson came back. It was like, what the hell you doing in my house? Smacked him in his head. Get the fuck out of here. Kicked him in his ass. You know what I mean? He saw that
So
she was
just
happy.
committed adultery.
No. She wasn't committing adultery.
Was he Samuel Jackson young?
Nah, Black Snake Moon. What he did was he kind of snatched Christina Ricci up because she was being a nympho and everybody was having sex with her and they was beating up in the pit. So he snatched her up to protect her and put a chain on her and kept her in his house. And her desires was kept where she couldn't do nothing like that no more, you know what I mean? So she was trying to give him pussy, but he was like, nah, I'm not with that, I'm trying to save her, you know? And then when the young dude came over looking for his father, she took advantage of him. So it's back in, the movie's called Black Snake Moon, bro. We should watch that movie, bro. It's called the Book of Sirach, chapter 5, verse 7. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord Yahweh, and put not off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord Yahweh come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed.
Every day in this thing is a test.
Right.
The most high. You know, a lot of times I find myself like, man, I got out the gym, I'm going to work, and why am I not doing a lesson? You know what I'm saying? If I'm putting forth the effort for this, put forth the effort for that, I gotta find a lesson. You know, and the most high has made things easy, bro, to do lessons. All you gotta do is check GPT. Ask Grok, can I get KGV verses and Apocryphal verses on XYZ? You get a bunch of it, and the explanation. All you gotta do now is put together a prophesy.
Yep.
So, I mean, this thing is easy, man.
Yeah.
Easier.
Easier than what it was
Easier than what it was.
15 years ago.
You know what I mean? But that also shows that this thing is spiritual because as much tools as the Most High gave us to where you can literally just turn your phone on. You don't need a camcorder set up and none of that. If the spirit is not on you, the Most High is not dealing with you like that, you won't get lethargic like that cat.
It says, and perish in the day of vengeance.
And perish in the day of vengeance, man. All right, so that's what we don't want. I don't want. Come on, bro. You don't want to perish in the day of vengeance. Especially, what's that scripture? You get that scripture, bro? A man that built a tower, they gonna laugh at him pretty much because he like half built it. Yeah, he built the tower, half of the shit, he ain't finished it. He's gonna laugh at you. We want to finish, man. We don't give him this what you want. Pretty much, bro. Seeing a fucking building being built half of his own, what happened? The guy just gave up. What? Why he do that? You know what I'm saying? This is ridiculous. Yeah. But that's how you gonna look if you put forth your hands to this thing. You know, X amount of years, you gave him all the time. Just turn back into the world.
You're saying that I gotta find it. Luke 14:28.
Why don't you get the whole thing, bro? That's just one verse.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's not just a, you know what I mean? There's a whole thing to it. You know what I'm talking about?
All right.
You know, the Lord said, you know, the parable, you know, honor to the guy that, you know, pretty much built half his house. Built the building and stopped halfway through. It was like,
Here are some results.
very embarrassing. I mean, anybody who can find it, you know, good.
It's in Matthews, right?
Yeah, it's one of Matthew's and Luke.
I think
You
it's
see individuals like that, man. They start this
Matthew
thing and stop
20,
this thing for whatever reason, whatever distraction comes to the
7:24.
world.
I think it's Matthew 7:24.
And he had this one guy, once he had his kid, he had the baby with some chick named Diamond Head. Going back into the world.
I got one.
Go ahead, bro.
It's Matthew 7, verse 24. And it's Yahweh speaking. Therefore, whosoever heareth these saying of mine, and doeth them, I will liken unto him a wise man, which built his house upon a rock. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell not.
You know,
For
that's a strong foundation. That's how come we always talk about going back to the basics. All right, the basics of this truth, the milk scriptures, is your foundation. You can't abandon that. But
verse 26. No, Salak. Yeah, verse 26. And every one that heareth these saying of mine, and doeth them not, shall be likened unto a foolish man, which built his house upon the sand, and the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it.
right, so that's the guy that didn't have a stable foundation. He started catching hell. Next thing you know, caught out the truth like this guy. All right, wasn't even catching hell. He was just put in a situation where, you know, it's the job with his word. It's the job. Doesn't have a strong foundation. Doesn't have faith. And now,
The same guy that wanted that comes to the Passover.
yeah, things is, you know, for an occasion, I guess. He wants to be in the chat. He doesn't want to post anything. It's stupid shit, bro. It's dumb. Saying so, didn't have a strong foundation. Scriptures telling the book of Colossians, one has to be rooted and built up. And that's your roots. You know what I'm saying? The fundamental scriptures and being diligent, coming in and out. But this is how you say, you know, like, it's like the spiritual exercise, bro. If you're not in the gym, you're gonna get what? Fat, lethargic, and give up and shit. So this is the spiritual exercise that you're teaching. During the week and on the Sabbath. If anybody can find that one though with the building, giving up.
Oh, wait.
Check the AI, bro. Use ChatGPT, it'll tell you.
Oh, I don't have it on this one. This is like the little bullshit. I think it might be Luke. Luke 14:28? Hold on.
What or something?
Luke.
I think so, yeah. Not only that, my cold went away, but while I'm working at the dust and shit, I just...
For which of you intend to build a tower, sit it down first and count across?
I got something.
I found, yeah, it's Luke 14:28.
Hold on,
It's quick. Matthew 24:13. But he that shall endure to the end, the same shall be saved.
Damn, you can't beat that one. Saying it's about finishing. You know, all them guys that the apostles be clowning back in the 90s, they think of this shit like some retirement shit. Like, I did my 10 years, I'm retired now. Nah, man, you didn't get saved yet. All right? There's no retirement on charity. All right? In other words, just don't enter this until you deliver.
Luke 14:28, Yahushua speaking. For which of you intending to build a tower, sit it not down first, and count it the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it.
Yeah, bro. So when you come in this truth, that's something you have to factor in. That, I'm not going to be able to take some jobs that have me out for Saturdays. I'm not going to be able to be a super family guy on a Saturday. There's certain sacrifices I'm going to have to make for this truth. You have to think about that before you come in.
Verse 29. Least happily, after he had laid the foundation.
So you came in, you got your garment, you're all right, you're part of the camp, you're doing some videos, go ahead.
And is not able to finish it.
Now some hell came in, or not even that, some ultimatums, some decisions, some tough decisions came in. And you're not finishing it. You're not choosing the correct one, go ahead.
All that behold it begin to mock him.
Yeah, because like I said, bro, just imagine, bro, you're seeing this nice building with no top, it's not finished. And you ask, like, what happened? What the fuck happened? The guy that was working on it just said, fuck it.
He wasn't able to finish.
Last minute, he said,
He wasn't able to finish. They're going to mock him.
Like, why? I don't know, he just said, fuck it. Go ahead, bro.
Saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Like, what the fuck? This nigga started this whole shit.
They're going to begin to mock him.
Just like how we found that nigga marijuana, man. 20-year general just said, fuck it.
It's a 20-year general.
He's been a true 20 years. He came to, we call him General Marijuana.
I know marijuana here.
And he just said, fuck it, I'm gonna go smoke some cigarettes.
I seen him. I seen him downtown smoking a cigarette, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna have some pentagrams.
He started listening to heavy metal music. That shit bring demons on you, bro.
Yep.
The heavy metal, man, that shit bring demons on you, bro.
I only listen to that whenever I'm working out.
Man, I never even listen to shit like that, man.
I mean, it's no different than listening to rap.
Yeah.
Look, if the Lord is with you, that's your name, but if you're not, then
Shit gonna happen. That's why I watch a lot of movies dealing with Ouija boards and
shit don't do nothing to me, bro.
you know what I mean? I watch a lot of I'm a horror movie buff. I got that from my mom's. And I watch all them shits and that shit don't even faze me, man. You know?
I kind of be watching them shit kind of like laughing like sometimes because I'm like, oh, that's what they think demons is really like. You know, they have some misinterpretation of the demons and shit.
Like that movie Talk to Me, where they had the hand and they touched the hand and the movie Talk to Me and this chick got possessed by a devil and crazy shit, bro.
They
I mean,
like putting crosses and shit. I'm like, why would a demon care about a cross?
right, that shit is nuts.
Fuck, but yeah,
Right.
but I just watch them now with this knowledge and understanding to see just like I'm looking at
See the
differently.
folly. Now when Pope Francis died and shit, man, I was in a laundromat when he died, when they was giving his funeral. I was like, man, I said it out loud, I didn't mean to say it, but I was like, man, that pedophile wet bastard. People looked at me like I was fucking crazy.
You know how many fucking horror movies you don't watch? And not only the truth, you laugh at it, but they go to the church. They talk to this Edomite with his beard shaved on that's probably molesting children.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Talking about father. I'm like, man, you just went to a worse demon.
Yeah, check it out. You got more? You got more? Yeah. You went to a worse
You
demon,
went to
right?
a worse demon.
I would
At least that other
confess.
demon that's haunting you is following the Lord.
Yeah.
This demon is...
Verse 31, it says, or what king going to make war against another king, sit it not down first, and consult it whether he is able with 10,000 to meet him that coming against him with 20,000.
Yeah, man, count the cost of war.
That's right.
This is a spiritual war, bro. You gotta count the cost of war.
That's right.
Right?
You got more?
No, how's it?
So I got a precept. This is 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 20. For if after they have escaped the pollutions of the world through the knowledge of our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, it says, for if they have escaped the pollution of the world through the faith, through the knowledge of the Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, they are getting entangled therein and are overcome. The latter end is worse than with them than the beginning.
Niggas become worse.
Meaning when you in this truth and your house is swept and garnished, you mean your mind, your spirit is swept and garnished, them demons that one demon that was on you is on the outside looking at like, look at this nigga. Look at this nigga. He fucking coming to camp, doing videos. I'm gonna wait for the opportunity. When he's low, when he's vulnerable, I'm gonna jump back on him, and not only that, I'm gonna jump back on him, I'm gonna bring 7 more demons more stronger than me.
You gonna call the gang like, pull up.
You gonna jump on this nigga, his worst case is gonna be fucked up than when he was before he got into the truth. You know? And that's what happens. I seen Makawana, I was downtown going to the union meeting, and I saw him smoking a cigarette. He tried to like, put it up, but I already saw you, nigga. You got the cigarette in your hand, I saw you smoking. I watched you before you even saw me smoking a cigarette. Then when he saw me, he was like, oh.
He got pentagrams on his face and shit, bro. With Baphomet on it all.
I mean, but that's because, guess what? He started dibbing and dabbing into that fucking hardcore heavy metal, that devil worshiping music.
That
And them spirits
fell out, bro.
Yeah, and them spirits, yeah, I'm telling you, and them spirits.
That's what the Apostle calls them. The Apostle calls, this is why you want to stay in the camp, because leave the camp, you should subject to all types of spirits.
Yeah, because them spirits, why you listen to that fucking music, because music got vibrations. Why you think that King David played the harp with King Saul, was troubled by them demons that it said the Holy Spirit left Saul, and the evil spirit from the Lord troubled him. And they will seek David the king. With David, before he became king, he played a harp, and he was soothing his spirit with that soothing music. Certain music got different vibrations. Classical jazz, classical music, jazz, all that shit got different vibrations. And when you come with that hardcore heavy metal,
That man was always angry though. Even before I came in the camp and I was still watching, he was just always trying to curse, fight somebody, threaten somebody. I just be like,
You can tap on the shoulder like you about to shoot. Yo, who fucking sweep up on me like that, man? Yeah. It's almost like, yo, bro, chill.
and like sometimes like being an outside listener, I'm like, yo, is this what they about? Just threatening people every day?
Yeah, bro. On 34th Street, you know, we
Yeah.
on 34th
He
Street.
was funny.
We go to the store, you know, we go to the store and shit at 34th Street. I saw him, I came upon him, shut up, yo, don't come up on me like that, brother. I'm like, yo, this dude ready to squirt me looking for you, okay? Go after that. I ain't
Yo,
never
just
gonna
because he going, yo, son, yo, the fuck come up on me like that, man? I'm like, yo, brother, what the fuck you, what?
So I'm like, yo, okay, so after that,
He'll be threatening to like fight people, fuck them up.
Bro.
After
He
that,
did
bro.
fight. He had a fight with kids.
after that, bro, I stopped salaming him and communicating. If I see him, if he shalom me, I would shalom him back. Other than that, I stopped approaching him.
I was an angry man, yo.
And after a while, if you don't laugh at his jokes, he looking at you sideways like this. He always had a joke at the camp, you know? He always had a joke. You ain't laughing at his jokes, he looking at you sideways now. Hey, bro, I was on to him, I said, this dude here, man, I mean, you can't communicate with this dude. I mean, you try to show love to his brother. And, you know, I try to, you know, he at the camp, but we together, I'm going to the store, and bro, I'm gonna give me a bite. You want a sandwich? You want half of this sandwich? I'm not that
talking
hungry.
about shit like sodomizing people, like I'm gonna take a punch and shove it up your ass. You know, say some shit like
I mean, you like, yo, come on, bro. I'm looking at him like, I'm like,
that.
some abnormal Weemer type
But
shit.
you know
what I
what,
mean?
bro? That was a test for us. Because now there's no way you can be a teacher like that. Brothers protect you. But we, you know, he was a publicist and shit. Like, and, you know, so, but now there's no way you can join the camp something like that. Like,
Bro's gonna be like, yo, ho, time out, bro. Well, that shit, man.
One time he's teaching, and he threatened one dude. The dude was like, I don't think you want to fight me around the corner or whatever. He was from the UFC motherfuckers. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna have to help you to rock. I might lose a tooth or something. I'm like, yo, the Lord gonna be with me, but I can't let him get washed up like that. And I'm like, yo, I know I'm gonna take an L. You know I'm gonna take an L. You know what I mean? Because I bumped one of them UFC people, but it was an accident. I was on camera and someone in the brushed up against me, and I went like that. I went like that. It was a bitch, but she had a whole bunch of them UFC niggas with her. I was like, I looked, and I was like, damn. But they kept going. But I wasn't.
When you teach this thing, bro, scripture tell you to be peace of all men.
Yeah.
You out here to
At
teach,
all,
bro.
be a
You're not
peaceful all
out
men.
here to be on the toughest bravado, challenge people carnally. What's the point of that, bro? wanted to edify.
And he used to do that, man. He used to do that.
Who's reading?
I got something, but I don't. Oh,
Yeah, I was reading. I was reading right here. I got some right here. It says, "For if they that have escaped the pollutions of the world through the knowledge of our Lord, and Savior Yahweh Shah Mashiach, they are again entangled therein and overcome. The latter end is worse with them than the beginning. For it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness than after they have known it to turn from the holy commandments delivered unto them. But it happened unto them according to the true proverb, the dog is turned to his own vomit again."
Yeah, man, that's what dogs used to do. Dogs eat their own throw up, look at that shit.
Yeah.
And that's what it's likened on to when you go back into the world to commit that bullshit. You need, if a regular Jake in the world is going to get beat with few stripes because he's ignorant.
But for you to know the
you
truth,
to know this thing, know the Lord's name and just say, you know what the hell with that. That's, yo, man, I can't even, it's scary, bro, because imagine just being out in the world, knowing this thing and just being out in the world. Like, that's kind of wild to me. Like, how the fuck can you just live your life normally, bro?
But you
I'd be
can't.
like, if constant fear, like, yo.
but to let the Most High take the spirit from you, fuck with your mind and bug you out. Now you just a regular nigga in the street again, with 8 demons on you, plaguing you. You know what I mean? Then you ain't gonna worry about that. You're gonna be good. Like, okay, you just gonna be a bugged out nigga in the streets. You know what I mean? You just a bugged out nigga in the streets. The Most High could do that to you.
Yeah, that's true.
The demons jump on you, and you got the demon that was on you the first time. Everybody had a demon on them before they came in the truth. And now you left the truth. Now you got 8 demons on you, and now you bugged out of your mind. Them demons just got you. So Most High could do that.
Yeah, for real. Every father can do that. You're just driving around not having no fear. Most I take that fear.
Damn,
Wow,
that's
bro.
crazy, man.
All right, this is Second Timothy 2, verses 3 to 4. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life.
We're at war right now, bro. You can't let the affairs of this job or whatever the fuck pull you away from this thing. This should be a main priority. This is the truth. It's paramount. Bro.
That he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier.
Yeah, man, you look, we all know it's a test from the Heavenly Father. That's all this is one big test. You pass the test, you get the ultimate reward, bro. So anytime something pops up in front of you that's trying to hinder this truth in any form of way, it's a test.
It could be a woman, it could be a woman, it could be a friend, it could be a family member, your job. Case in point, this dude that we was talking about.
Job thing.
Every Saturday.
I wish I don't want to hear that.
He
Sorry,
gotta be
Lord,
at-
I gotta work.
He got to be at work. Come on,
that
man.
fucking shit, man.
One Saturday is cool, but you just dedicate your job come before the truth,
And
man.
it's all excuses because we have camps during the midweek. You can do lessons at home. You can pop over your own camp. Your elder, this is the only day that works. Can I have somebody come out with me? If you really want this thing, you would do it, bro.
Like you said, you got mid camp. This brother, you know what I mean? You got mid camp, so
Oh yeah, low I see Brother Susan.
mid camp, you know what I mean? So here it is. You can come out you miss camp on Saturday, which is the main camp day, but you can come out on Tuesday, mid camp week, you know what I'm saying? And you do the work then. So you make it for Saturday.
Bro,
you know what I mean?
Just for the same way you made that fucking effort for that job, you could have made the effort for the truth, bro.
But
We go out like 7:30. We go out like 7:30, 8:30. But if brothers want us to come out a little earlier, or if brothers could just say a time earlier, then I get off work 4:30. So brothers, if they want an earlier time, it's all they gotta say together. They want this time, and we'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, 8 o'clock is kind of stiff because, brothers be winding down, ready to go to bed, you know what I'm saying? Because they done had a long day, they done went to the gym, went to work, went to the gym, so it's like winding down period, you know what I mean? You eat,
Cause it's like soon as that 4:30 come, it's like 7 o'clock. It's like right there. Yeah. You know what I
that
mean?
shit come quick, man.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie.
That shit come
It's a
quick.
lot, brothers.
I was going to say, the scripture says, blessed he that read it, right? So when you read the scriptures and the Lord blesses you, you also read and get understanding to know that being in this truth is not about riches and money, because our Lord Yahweh Shai came on a donkey, which is showing you how he humbled himself, coming in on the donkey. The scripture also says riches profit not in the day of wrath. So I even remember before I came in the truth, I said like some real like nigga shit. brother was teaching me going into tights. They was telling me how the percentage I gotta pay my tights. So I'm like, damn. So if I come in the truth and I make this amount of money, I gotta give this? But that was just me being a nigga, like, before I came in. And as I'm coming to the truth, I'm reading, I'm like, but wait a minute. I said, I only got this job because the Lord gave me this job any damn way. So of course I should give this portion that I should give it because the Lord gave me this job in the first place. If it wasn't for the Lord, I wouldn't have this damn job. So technically, the money I'm giving back, I should be giving more. But the Lord said, I just want this amount. So I've even been in situations where I'm like, where it's like, I'm not working and I'm down and out, and a job will call me and then they said, listen, the pay rate is $40 an hour, but you gotta work 4 to 12 on a Saturday. And I'd be like, can't do it. And then the Lord always blessing me. So that's why certain things I'd be like, man, fuck that job, right? Because you can still take that job, turn your back on the Lord, and then they fire your ass the next damn day.
Fire your ass 2 weeks later or a
Now
month
what?
later.
Now what?
It's not working out.
Sorry, it's not working
No?
out. I mean, your performance is not up to standard. And now you turn your back on the Lord, and the Lord put the spirit on your manager to fire your ass. Now you're like, oh shit. You know what I mean? You know?
Let's get that.
This is Luke chapter 9, verse 62.
It's going to cut a lot of people to the heart.
And it says, and Yahweh said unto him, no man having put his hand to the plow
Which is coming in the truth to work.
and looking back,
What do you mean look back? Go back into the world, man. Go ahead.
is fit for the kingdom.
Right, so if you went back into the world, you're not fit to be on the chariot. You're not fit to be a leader. You're not fit to be a servant of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua.
That's it. It's fit for the kingdom of Yahweh Shem Yahushai.
Yeah, you're fit for a sword.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to die at that job right at the desk.
Just like the people in the World Trade Center, they went to work and they thought that after work we're gonna party, I'm going on a dinner date. No.
Yo, they had a restaurant.
You going to the spirit world, bitch.
They have the restaurant in there, windows of the
Yo,
world.
wait a minute.
Windows of the world.
But we talked about this on that club in New York.
Yeah.
They put on your best fucking suit in the mirror.
Throwing themselves up, hair done.
gonna be lit
You know,
tonight.
it's gonna be lit. Your last dance came and now you in the spirit
Yo,
world,
you don't
bitch.
shake me in the mirror.
Right.
You even had ex-baseball players from the Mets and the Dodgers there, and guess what? You know they had riches and shit, you know what I mean? They had millions. They had millions.
Ready?
Yep.
Dogged
That
out,
death.
dogged out just to meet death. Just to meet the spirit, just to meet the ancient of days in the spirit world, because
Don't stop.
And the Lord had a bunch of cops violate your grave. Took that chain that you was rocking. So fuck that, bro. You just if this world is death, you gotta seek life.
that's right, man.
It's the truth, man. So them niggas that forsook this truth to go back into the world. Every now and again, my pastor camp is living in the world. Look, man.
Walked out of their mind, talking to themselves.
Right. When that time hits, they're gonna be trying to seek the kingdom.
It's gonna be too late.
Fucking late, man. This is the same way you turn your back on the Lord gonna look at you like that.
Turn
Give
your
you a
back on
cold
the
shoulder.
Lord. Turn his back on you.
You're gonna get an ice cold shoulder from the Lord like that. Peace.
And that's second Ezra chapter 9, verse 9.
Yo, pray to your boss.
Second Ezra 9, verse 9. You know, what it says? The second Ezra 9, verse 9 about the pain that people is going to receive because they turn their back because they have received benefits in this life and all that.
Oh, yeah, such a
In second Ezra 9 and 9.
I'm gonna read it real quick. Second Ezra chapter 9, verse 9, and it says, then shall they be in a pitiful case,
Yep.
which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. All right. It says, for such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me, and they have loaded my law while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it, the same must know it after death by pain.
So that's the reward for choosing this world. Death.
That's right.
That we're gonna give all praises to.
Y'all shy by Hashem Rakakwadash.
That belongs to the apostle of Shalom.
That was an excellent